and welcome to day 30 as a vibe trader. This is Jeremy. I am, the vibe trader. I've started with a 9K portfolio. It went up to 11K, and now it's at $8,200. Um, we are running this vibe trading journey experiment with this portfolio. None of what we say is financial advice. We're really in a phase of experimentation. So we're testing multiple trading instruments. We're testing trading algorithm. We're testing binary option markets on poly markets, and we're testing as well day trading and manual trading. So for all of that, I have multiple tools, and I've showed you multiple instruments. Um, Last stream we were down quite a lot because we were heavily exposed to Bitcoin being long, and it went down, and so that made me kind of rethink the whole system and how it was working. And after the stream, I took more time looking into it. I took more time looking into every single instrument, and I basically paused most of them. That's why right today the performance didn't move compared to last time, because most of the trading instruments were paused. And this is basically due to a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that for some trading instrument, there were problem in the training that I realized later on. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But yeah, essentially it was linked to, well, overexposition to one asset and some training algos that were basically had issues. And so that really made me rethink the way that I'm going to deploy them. So yeah, I'm going to deploy like very often trading algos. I'm going to put some size because we want to see things moving, but I'm going to be more conservative on the sizing, and I'm going to try to chase more uh, market regime immune trading strategies. The way I built before is basically I optimized trading strategies. I was working really great on a very long time frame, but I didn't really look enough in details on the market regime change. Hi, Chris. Nice to have you here. And so, yeah, I was, curious about the market regime and making sure that the trading algos that I have right now are adapted to the current market regime. And so even if you deploy a lot of trading models and you have good systems, good signal that, over 10 years period, they average super well. Well, on the certain market regime, for instance, a down regime, if you're skewed towards long on Bitcoin, for instance, well, you're going to be in trouble. And that's kind of what happened. So I I've basically spent a lot of time retraining. I've also spent a lot of time developing, because as you see, this platform is Quant, which I'm the founder of. And we have, as some of you guys know, a lot of features, a lot of things that we're developing. Um, and um, and I was spending a lot of time so retraining the training algos, refining everything we have, the signals we have on the platform, as well as the user experience, because we have now close to, actually more, we have 315 users that registered on the platform, and about 100 that are trading. So these numbers are actually super cool. I'm very happy, excited with the growth we have. We're basically growing, organically, regularly, with double-digit growth weeks on weeks, and that's super cool. So based on that, I had to spend some time retraining all the systems and before redeploying. So on the next stream, I will show you all the new systems that I redeployed. I'll show you the performance of the overall portfolio as well. And I'll show you as well the updates that we're working on for Quant. So one of the biggest updates, so what you see behind me is our edge page, which is basically a page that is built and trained on all our directional prediction agents. So it's our AI agent that predict Bitcoin long and short at different time horizon. And we train an algo model like amongst all of them. Um, we can train them this page better, but it basically shows you that in real condition. So we've basically trained the whole model and then have it run. So it's been like 10, 20 days that it's been running out of sample. Out of sample meaning that now it's basically predicting every hour, and it's not just backtest data. So you cannot have issues with the way you backtest it. It's like real performance. And on the last 100 prediction, we have 50%, 56% win rate on the 4 hours horizon, 52% win rate on the 24 hours, and 53% win rate on the 1 hour. And which is similar to what we have on the whole model trained on multiple thousands of predictions. And that's one of the things that, after a lot of training and, realizing what was working, what was not, and when I was landing on very high win rates or very high EV per trade, I was realizing that sometimes there were some issues with the training. The issues can be data leakage. So when you train a model, it has access to a lot of information, and it's always going to optimize for the outcome you want. So it can be win rate, high PTOC. It can be EV per trade. But if you have features in the training of your model that show the price in the future, or some have some way of understanding the price in the future, they will use it in the model, and the model will basically use future data to train and predict. And so that's why in many cases you create systems, and the win rate of EV per trade is extremely exaggerated, because it's simply false, right? The model you train was using future data, and so in real environment, it will not perform as well at all, because it doesn't have access to future data anymore. That's what we call training out of sample. And so what I've been doing and training on the last couple of weeks was basically, I was optimizing for two things. One of them was understanding if I can get a directional edge on Bitcoin at multiple horizon. So in the next hour, in the next 4 hours, and in the next 24 hours. And I would basically check that every single hour. So am I able to build a model that every single hour it predicts long, short Bitcoin in the next hour, 4 hours, 24 hours? And yeah, on many different models, using my AI agents, using technical analysis, using a lot of data points, using open interest, funding, liquidation, everything, sentiment, everything. By combining everything, which is what I've been doing, you do get an edge, which is between. I mean, basically, if you want to enforce making a prediction every single hour, you'll get between 52 and 54% win rate on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and 24-hour horizon. So you have a between 2 and 4% edge if you enforce a prediction every single hour to know what's going to happen in the next 1 hour, 4 hours, 24 hours. So this is, there's two things to it. One is that it's fantastic. You have an edge. It's great. You are able to be above coin flip on an asset that is over optimized, which is Bitcoin, on multiple time horizon. So that's fantastic. But the other thing you need to understand is this edge is tiny. It's like between 2 and 4%. And in most cases, it's not tradable, because if you're going to trade just the win rate, and you're going to enter a trade and you're going to stop it at 1 hour, you're going to stop it at 4 hours, you're going to stop it at 24 hours. So it's like time breaks, because that's what you optimize for. Well, in most cases, the fees that you're going to pay for each trade are just going to crush the EV per trade that you can get. So we are able to get an edge, and I think we can improve this edge a little bit on the directional for Bitcoin. Now, if you start to filter out So you say, I'm not gonna pick every single hour, because every single hour there's a lot of noise. But I'm going to train model to predict direction of Bitcoin, like maybe 30% of the time when my model has high confidence, or only 10% of the time. So basically, what we're trying to build is like confidence filters. So right now in our model, it doesn't work at all, because there was an issue with the model train when you put the filter. But you can improve the win rate, right? You can go to up to 58%, in some cases 62%, depending on the thing, and then you have a real edge, um, and you can try to trade that. But does that mean that, okay, now I have like developed my super model that is trained on a lot of data, and 10% of the time, so like two, like let's say like 2 times per day, it has a trade that it offers to me directional on Bitcoin that has like 60% win rate. That's great. This, if you trade all of them, you're going to be in profit, and you're going to be, because the EV per trade is going to be positive, and you can trade that. So when you have that result, and I got some results like that, you still need to be very careful, because you can still, have optimized your model to get this win rate, but there's still like a risk of data leakage. There's still risk of overfitting, which means that if you did the training for a period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, it can still be overfitting the model. And so it means that we were in a specific market regime in the last 3 years, but now we are in a different one, and it's not gonna behave the same. And then there's another issue, which is even if you have, within like this 3 years or 5 years period, you keep your 60% win rate on your on 5% of the trade, right? And that the only one with high conviction that you're going to do. Well, the issue is that within this big market regime, there is micro market regimes. And so you need to also look at months by months. And that's something that I didn't do enough. And, I was looking at models that were overall 60% win rate or 58% win rate on like 3 years, 5 years period. But if you look at months by months, there were some months where they were performing super well, and some months when they were performing not as good. And in many models, they were performing super well really in the past. And then the more you went closer to the present, and the more the edge decayed. So you had less and less edge. And so it was maybe 65% win rate like a year ago. And now it's only 51% or 52%. And so that made it non-tradable. Or if you're going to trade it with the fees and the EV per trade, then you're going to lose money. So for all of this reason, first, I learned a lot. Second, I'm getting more sophisticated with how all of this is to be working, and also how training and understanding how you train and what might be the limitations of your training are important. And also, understanding that when you train a model and it looks really good, understanding that is this model that is good on a very long period of time actually applicable to this current market regime. And so all of this made me create new trading algos, and it made me do a lot of work on the quant platform. So the work on the quant platform is going to be reflecting these changes. We have a new trading terminal that is coming probably tomorrow, and it will basically show you a couple options. Instead of all of the signals in a go, it will show you the best day trade. It will show you the best swing trade. So two main options that we will show you above everything else. The best day trade is a trade that is going to be an average hold of 24 hours, but sometimes it will be less, sometimes it will be a bit more. And the best swing trade will be an average hold of 2 weeks. But now these two best trades that we show you, we have trained and optimized so they are working in the current market regime. So that the stats that we provide month by month are good on a very long period, but also very good in the last 6 months, every single month being in profit. So that's what we've trained for, and that I think that will be much easier and more pleasant to trade as well. Because if you want to do more day trading, then you have a day trade that is here. But it also means that these trades setups, they are not going to be available all the time. They're going to be available only about 45% of the time. Why? Because we cannot have a good trade with good EV all the time. Our models cannot do that. I mean, I've tried a lot of things; it doesn't work, right? I mean, if we do try to predict all the time, then you get the 53% win rate, and then the move is too small and the EV is too bad. So yeah, I spend a lot of time and a lot of energy like digging right into these models and trying to understand what is good. And I'm also trying to do that in a transparent way, where I don't want to show on the platform, some degen gambling trades where I just tell you like trade that, and with random luck you're gonna get 50% of the time. I don't want to do that. It could work as a product, or it could even work, as me as a doing this stream as a vibe trader. I could just gamble like large amount, put high leverage, and cross fingers, and maybe numbers go up, maybe numbers go down. But that's not at all what I want to do. So for this reason, it requires a lot of thinking, energy, testing, validating in order to get to provide actual value. And so that's what we're doing. That's why it's coming in the next couple of days. So new trading terminal that will reflect that will be much more friendly. In this terminal, there are also going to be data that is interesting for you to know. So you will see our best prediction model directly in the terminal. It will tell you, okay, 55% of Bitcoin going up in the next 24 hours, for instance. We'll show you the technical analysis, so long versus short active signals. But we will also show you two new data points: the sentiment, so fear and greed, and other stuff, and also we'll show you the positioning of the most profitable traders right now on Hyperliquid, if they are very bullish or just bullish or bearish, and also the traders that are the most wrecked. So you're going to have these four pillars of data: technical analysis, AI, on-chain wallets, and sentiment, that are here as well to help you make a decision on top of our best trade of the day. And so you can decide, do I want to do that or not. That's what's coming for the terminal. Another thing that happened in the last week was we saw significant growth of users, and significant growth of users deploying trading agents. So we have a lot of trading agents, and a lot of users have deployed many and many on either paper trading, live trading, or on the prop firm that we integrated. And so now we have like 335 agents. So that's a lot. And I saw that we have a very basic, primitive way of deploying them. You can use AI, but it's still like pretty limited. And we also have, and based on that, and based on also the findings I had when I was doing more sophisticated training, mixing machine learning models, different data sources, and then I was falling into the risk of overfitting and data leakage, look ahead bias, and an issue with micro regime within the market regime. So I was realizing that there's an issue, a problem, where a lot of people, they do want to train their own model, and they are doing that now with AI, and that's completely fine. But they're maybe not aware of all the issues that I've been through already. And so we are developing, and that will be ready by end of month, a much more robust system to basically train custom trading systems. We're using a lot of different data sources, having the backtest data instantly and also having a checker, AI checker that tells you, okay, the model you train right now, it gives you incredible performance, but here's a reality. There is a risk of overfitting. There is a risk of that, and it will basically um, analyze all the risk of the model you design. And so I'm very hyped as well by that, and it's coming soon, and it's going to be interesting. Um, so yeah, that was a very intense week of building. Trading was in post because I needed time to retrain. But with all the features that we're launching, we're gonna resume trading and all the training instruments, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Um, One thing I can say though is like the what we through everything we build, like we're building kind of a signal stack, right? So you come here, or me, I'm using signals. Everything when you do trading is basically you trade a signal. It can be a sophisticated signal that is based on technical indicators, on sentiment, on news, on wallets, on whatever. Or it can be simply like you have an idea, and this idea is a signal. So everything is a signal. The question is, how do you know how to differentiate between bad signal, which are noise, and good signal? How do you know which when to follow your instinct or when to follow data points? And so I think what really matters right now in my head is like what is fascinating is building your signal stack, right? So you build a signal stack that you have from, I mean, your own IDs, others' IDs at work, and you combine them into like the terminal that you have. And so that's kind of what we're going for, where you come in on quant and you have all the default trading strategies, all the default signals that we have, and they populate into your terminal. It populates in the Chrome extension, and you're going to get soon notification as well on your Telegram, emails, everywhere. And so that's where you get all the signals. But then you'll be able, if you want to go the extra mile, you'll be able to try to develop your own system, and then you add the signals that you develop into your terminal, or you'll be able to look at everybody else, all the system that they deployed. You see their performances, how they work, and then you can subscribe to their signal as well. And so then you're really going to be able to build your entire signal stack that you can then trade into a terminal or automate with trading systems, right? So yeah, that's basically the realization and the advancement from the last week. Shipping insanely and working 12 hours a day, and resuming trading very soon. So it is vibe trading, not as chill as it sounds, but it's very fascinating, and I think we're definitely getting somewhere. On another note, which is more on the journey as a builder, I'm very impressed by the capacity of users and people in the community to come in, give feedback, be here every day, help out, and find value and give value back. That's just extraordinary. And also the retention. We have a strong, solid base community really help us and move forward. And so that's a very good point. All right. So today was a quick one. Nice updates. We'll have another one next week, hopefully with more things to show. And yeah, super excited with everything we have and the new trading systems. I think they will do well. I think the binary options that I'm trading on Polymarket are doing pretty well, and will do pretty well. As you see, we are able to identify an edge between on the 1 hour between like 52 and 55, 56% for most of the hours, which is huge. And now I kind of found a good way to execute that edge on Polymarket, right? Because on Polymarket, again, if you have a 52% edge and you buy at 50 cents, they have 2% fees, so you pay 52, so then you have no edge. and that means that you also are able to buy at 50 cents all the time. But I found some different techniques, and I'm able to buy um, like lower than 50 most of the time. It's limit order, so there is no fees, and so I'm okay with leaving some trades on the side, but I maintain a good edge, and I have a very, very good, interesting growth curve on the P&L. So that's very interesting. I think we will also uh, like let you deploy binary option agents on the Hyperliquid as soon as they do the 1 hour Bitcoin outcome every hour. We will have you like we will let people like deploy these binary option agents every single hour, in real trading. So that's coming, and these ones have proper edge, 100% tested for thousands and thousands of hours. So